I like going to a show and being the only one. They're kind of ahead of their time. You know, this is the first year for front disc brakes.
Matthew Cannuli of Winchester, Connecticut is in his early 30s now, but has had a thing for Rambler Classics since before he could drive.
So my first one I got when I was 14 years old. I saved up money from doing lawns, snow blowing, plowing, leaves, whatever a kid could do around the neighborhood.
His brother handled the $2,100 transaction without his parents knowing. It was a 1965 six-cylinder Rambler Classic 770H that needed a little work.
I gave him the money, he went out and bought the car. We got the car to his house, did a few things on it, and then we brought it over for 2 years. It stayed at his sister-in-law's house. And then when I turned 16, I took the car out. I said, hey, Mom and Dad, look what I got. And they were a little beside themselves.
Unfortunately, it didn't last. At a car show in Hershey, Pennsylvania in 2009, it was involved in a crash.
She was drinking, and I was making a right-hand turn, and she stuffed me in the back, sent us over in a guardrail down into a drainage ravine. It hit so hard that when I got the car home, the roof line, the windows wouldn't close. So the car was pretty much totaled.
Cannuli quickly found a replacement for $500. Also a 1965 model, it came with a 327 cubic inch V8 engine. Restoration took 5 years.
I was able to save all my interior from my other car, so that's why I kept it the brown.
The car has some neat accessories.
I have the factory tissue box under the dash, which a lot of the cars were coming out with. Factory disc brakes in the front. That was the first year Bendix 4-piston calipers. I got the factory AM tack for the dash. Power steering, power brakes.
The power steering is a real plus.
You could spin the wheel with a pinky. Lock to lock, it's like 19 turns. So when you're turning in a parking lot, you're doing a lot of arm motion. We used to go up to New Hampshire and Maine with the car for vacation. And when you start turning the corners, a lot of body roll, a lot of sway, stuff you get out of a new car these days.
Cannuli also has a lot of paraphernalia to go with the Classic. There's literature.
This is the brochure for 65. This is the classic brochure. So you get your sedan, the 4-door, 2-door post, and then also your wagon.
There's a model.
These are called promos. I'm sure a lot of people know. They would give these out at dealerships when you'd go out to either test drive a car or buy a car. You bring it home, let the kids play with it, and like I said, it gives you some of the key features of, why you should buy the car.
And even a device to calculate gas mileage.
Rambler back in the day, I said the economy cars, they were pushing gas mile to fuel when economy runs and everything. So basically this is something the dealership would hand out. You look at, let's say, 14 gallons of gas you used, and how many miles you driven. So you driven, let's say 300 miles, you got 21 and a half miles per gallon. It was a cool thing just to set out for people for keeping track of what you can get out of your 6-cylinder or your compact.
Cannuli enjoys his classic and doesn't hesitate to drive it.
It's an enjoyable car. We get about 20 miles to the gallon, so we do cruises and we daily drive it and take it on vacations.
That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson, and if you could please take the time to subscribe to Ride Connecticut's YouTube channel.